He's back again. He steps on. He's hit. He stumbles. He is throwing it deep for the end zone, and it is batted around and incomplete. And the game is over.
Thanks for throwing the deep.
Ooh, had the back door. Oh, Simmons threw it in reverse. Oh my God! Deep to right field, way up there and way out of here. Second and one. Here's Hughes giving it across. Oh, what a save! Made by Blair.
Welcome back to the Broad Street Benchwarmers podcast, presented to you by Hungry Dog Sports Blog. And once again, I'm not in the mood, man.
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood. It's been a long day. I'm not in the mood.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, my name's Adam Den. You know Ethan's with me. We are here for your Eagles postgame show. And it doesn't get much worse than this, my friend.
Yeah, we're just tied with the Bengals.
It doesn't.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, look, I think there's a lot of blame you can put around. We talked about it on our first episode of this. There's a lot of fingers you can point all across this organization.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, when you have a coaching staff that is unable to take a chance at the end of this game to even win it, when you have a quarterback who just looks like he has regressed to a point where, I mean, you could legitimately make an argument that he has been the worst quarterback in football so far this season. There is no area where you can find optimism within this team. And it's just depressing. It really is. And, I mean, you can look at the numbers. You can say, you know, the injuries. You can make excuses for that. You can say Miles Sanders has been fantastic. You can say the secondary has been improved. You can even say that this schedule, based on the way the teams they've played, is not as hard as it should be. But at the end of the day, this team is awful.
Yeah, they're so
They're
bad.
awful. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
So I think we should start with that first move, and that's the coaching staff, and that's on fourth and what was it, 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, that just punting the football, punting away your chance at winning this football game.
Yeah.
For a tie.
Yeah.
For a tie.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it was Matt Pryor who lost us the game.
exactly.
Like I think Jake probably could have made that because he can make 60-yarders and then miss extra points. So
I mean, look, we know this offensive line is bad and inexperienced, but at the same time, I mean, you have to be trained well enough that on a field goal attempt, somebody needs to find that stat.
Yeah.
When in history, how many times in history has the game-winning field goal attempt been stopped by a false start?
Yeah.
How many times has that happened?
No idea.
That is the definition of an undisciplined team, and may have even buried the grave on this season.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It said like they always brought up like a 2.7% chance
Exactly.
for 0-3 teams to make the playoffs.
The last team I can think of that was 0-3 and legitimately gave it a shot was the 2017 Chargers.
Or like
If you had told me before the season that you could compare this team to the 2017 Chargers with aging Phillip Rivers and one of the worst defenses in football, that actually lost to the Browns. This is the Chargers team that lost to the 1-15 Browns. I would have laughed. I would have been hysterical.
Yeah, another team that I can think of is like, wasn't it like the Colts? Like, might have been the last luck here. I know they started out like really well.
Yeah, they did.
But we do not have Andrew Luck under center. So
Exactly. And we can lead right into that. I mean, Carson Wentz, 24 of 47,
Jesus.
225 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and I know it's not, the best stat, but a 62 passer rating. I mean, come
Terrible.
on. I think, was it a better day than, say, 2 weeks ago? Probably. Just based on his running ability today, I think he had 65 yards and a touchdown on that end. But at the same time, your franchise quarterback, quote unquote, your top 10 quarterback in the league, quote unquote, is, missing every single deep throw.
Yeah.
There were tons of reads. I mean, we saw the announcers pointed out early with that Ertz play where it's behind, and we saw the announcers pointed out with that Hightower play late in overtime. I mean, he's just completely missing reads in order to scramble and run around in the pocket and try to do too much. There's not much you can do because these are the same things that he's been doing throughout his entire career, just emboldened. And I don't know what to say about him anymore. Honestly, I took off my jersey again, second week in a row. So, I mean, what do you think?
There's a lot of worthless, just stupid throws.
Exactly.
What I think it was the second pick. He just threw it up to Burnett.
Exactly. That was that Earth play where it's
Yeah.
over his shoulder and it's just
what has to go through your mind to throw a jump ball to Deontay Burnett? And that secondary, it's not bad. It's not awful. William Jackson and Jesse Bates are okay.
It's pretty awful.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But
I'm pretty sure they were bottom 10 in the NFL before we faced them.
And then they pretty much locked down most of Carson's reads.
Exactly.
The only receiver who had moderate success was Greg Ward, and that's saying a lot.
I mean, 72 yards and a touchdown for Ward, 70 yards for Ertz.
Yeah.
I mean, they were fine.
Yeah, they were passable.
Yeah. Can you honestly say any receiver really stepped up today?
No, because no Jalen Reagor. No, I think Deshaun Jackson was out.
For the 10th week in a row.
Game.
Yeah.
Alex Goddard got hurt basically immediately.
Yo.
He was projected 12 points, and Van Sales could pick him up, and he had 1 catch. So I dodged a bullet. And he missed a free touchdown to Miles Sanders.
He did. And the sad part is it looked so similar to that Seattle play from a year ago, where Miles, it's that wheel route, and it's right over its head. And I would like to say that that's a sign that Carson is going to improve, because obviously after that Seattle game, got better and better, consistently led this team to the playoffs. But even though this team is a half game out, I mean, do you want to see this team in the playoffs?
No.
Exactly.
I would much rather get a better future player, even though Howie can't draft for the life of him, than lose in the wild card for the 20th.
I would rather get a Micah Parsons to bolster this defense.
Or a Dylan Moses.
Lineman. Exactly.
Get Leatherwood. I don't know. That's all I got to do.
Just something to bolster. I mean, we're going to get into the secondary, but just the depth as well, because we have guys going down left and right.
Yeah.
I mean, all these Philadelphia training staffs, obviously Goddard goes out. I mean, Slay, Avonte Maddox, what can he do anymore?
And my dad's theory was that Jason Peters went down as a free injury timeout, just so they could catch their breath.
Me too. I thought that too.
But I think he's just done. He's done.
I don't know, man. He walked off the field. That's what makes me.
No. I don't mean he's done for the season. I mean he is.
Yeah, he's done. Period. I agree.
He is. I mean, he is just a body.
Yeah, Carl Lawson. How many sacks?
He still got a ton of pressure.
Yup.
he had no answer for like a maybe like an 80 in Madden. I don't know.
Exactly. I mean,
And,
this is a Bengals D line that Baker Mayfield was
yeah.
exactly. So
Oh God. I mean, the only it's a little bit of a stretch, but the only thing I can really be happy with is the D line's performance. I guess Malik Jackson was good. Brandon Graham,
yeah,
Fletcher Cox.
I still think in the final
Yeah,
closing minutes, especially, I mean, in that fourth quarter, there was more that they could have been done. Fletcher Cox has been gone for like a year now.
yeah,
I don't understand the disappearance of him. I mean, I know because Brandon Graham is back here and they have Malik Jackson, he's getting more pressures, and the sack numbers obviously won't be as far up.
hmm
But at the same time, this is a guy who we've discussed as Defensive Player of the Year for the past 2 years, and what have we gotten from that?
yeah. I haven't gotten much.
Exactly.
Kind of, he's kind. I won't. He has not stooped to the level of Jason Peters, but he's just a distraction for making other guys get opportunities.
He's just there.
Yeah,
And I mean, the anchor of your defense, like, makes me think that Malcolm Jenkins was that anchor. I mean,
yeah,
we talked about it. I texted you Monday night. It hurts me to see him in a Saints uniform, especially we can get into that now. The way parts of the secondary have especially played.
yeah. A lot of careless plays from like
Exactly.
Roby Coleman. I think McLeod like a really dumb like late hit on. I think it was T Higgins.
I know.
That gave
Yeah,
him like an
late.
extra few yards that led
Yo.
to I think a touchdown. But
Yo.
yeah, the only competent member of the secondary has been Darius Slay.
Exactly. And I love the Slay pickup. I love what
Yeah.
he's done so far. I think he's locked down every single number one receiver. Look what he did to AJ Green today.
hmm
But Avonte Maddox wasn't good before he went out. He really wasn't. Boyd was having a day, and
hmm
Avonte was in the slot and guarding him a substantial amount of the time. Roby Coleman was awful,
Yeah.
god awful. And I mean, Jalen Mills had those two penalties.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say, man. Like
Like,
Russell
I wasn't
Douglas.
that high on T Higgins, but he had 2 touchdowns on us, and he made me prove him
Exactly.
that he's a good enough receiver. Like that
Yeah.
receiving room is really solid with AJ Green, Boyd, Auden Tate, and him.
Yeah. No, I wasn't expecting that from the Bengals offense. And
Yeah.
from Joe Burrow either. I mean,
Joe Burrow
I
had a really
watched
good
Thursday
game.
night. Yeah, I watched Thursday night. I saw the hype, but he had a fantastic game. And I mean, for him to come at the secondary with the poise and confidence he has as a
Mhm.
rookie, and he got
Mhm.
it done.
Like I know he got a lot of like I think it was sacked like a ton of times, but it means
Yep,
nothing because he
exactly.
still he still avoided pressure decent enough, like adequately, I guess.
Yep.
And he somehow like made like I think it was like the tiniest little spots to like Tyler Boyd and T Higgins, and
Yep.
I think I said I picked him for offensive rookie of the year, which is really boring, but he's really proving it. Like
He's probably is.
they're 0-2-1, but he's still living up to the hype. So
Yeah. I mean, it's
yeah.
like a Kyler Murray situation from last year. They're going to be a
Mhm.
bad team, but as long as he shows potential and prowess in his role, which he definitely has, he was the better quarterback today. I think
Mhm.
that's obvious. So, why not?
Yeah.
So, do we want to do player of the game? Is there really a
Sure.
player of the game?
Not gonna be evil, but I mean, if we were to do like 3 stars like hockey, I'll
Yeah.
do like Joe Burrow, Tyler Boyd, and then Miles, I
Slay.
guess.
Yeah.
Miles or Slay, I don't know.
Yeah. I would say Burrow and Boyd, and probably Slay. I just loved how he performed
hmm
against AJ Green today, even in this embarrassing loss. But I think Next week is San Francisco. Got to step it up, especially
Yeah.
against an injury-riddled team. You have a chance to get your first win here.
And if it makes us feel any better, they dropped 37 on the Giants, which is Nick
Exactly.
Mullins.
Nick
So-
Mullins, Jeff Driscoll.
Yeah, I know you said it was a loss, and it's basically a loss.
Yeah, it is.
A tie when you have a free like 55-yarder. 50
Yeah.
it wasn't that bad for Jake Elliott because he has a boot.
Yep.
He's a clutch kicker, even though he
Exactly.
is like a middle of the pack. He's not. I will definitely take a lot of kickers, even though it doesn't really matter that much over him. But
that
you
range.
cannot tie to the Cincinnati Bengals.
No, and
You just
especially
can't.
in that situation. We talked about how this was
Yeah.
a must-win game.
Yeah.
And, you have to play like it's a must-win game. This
Yeah.
coaching staff obviously doesn't believe that going 0-3 means anything.
Yeah.
And that's honestly scarier than the actual loss to me.
Yeah.
For me. Team that won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And that aggressiveness seems to be gone.
It seems like it's not to the extreme, but it seems like the Super Bowl hangover of like
Yep.
the Broncos from like the couple years after it, like the
I can
year
see
they got Chubb.
But the thing with, they had Peyton Manning retire.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning. This is the same roster. This is a mishandlement by ownership,
Mm-hmm.
by front office. Did we talk about the linebackers?
There's nothing to say when Duke Riley's getting like primary snaps.
That's very fair. That's very fair.
There's nothing to say about
Totally
the
botched.
linebackers.
It's totally botched.
Yeah, like they should go after a linebacker, but knowing how Jim Schwartz runs his schemes, it's like a waste of a roster spot.
No, but like at the same time, how long are we gonna continue with this Jim Schwartz's scheme thing and devalue this position and have teams tight ends completely roast us?
Yeah, like Tyler Higbee.
Like Tyler Higbee, exactly. All this end around stuff, all these slant routes, the reason they're able to do that is because we have Duke Riley playing middle linebacker for us.
And Nate Gary breakout season.
And Nate Gary, exactly.
And Jatavis Brown decided to not play.
So bad. It's awful.
I mean, it's so sad this is an open division now, but
Exactly. I mean, I don't know if Dallas just lost. I couldn't see it, but
I'll pull that up right now. They lost, yeah.
They lost?
Yeah.
We are half a game back.
Yeah, we're half a game out of it.
From leading the division. That's how sad.
The NFC East is so sad. The leader, I guess the football team is tied.
The football team is still the leader.
Yeah, probably leading because
they are the leader because they have a division win.
Wow. That would be such a weird. Oh my god. Well,
we hope we're back here happier next week.
Yeah, we'll be back to talk about the NBA Finals and Week 3 and some of that. Because we are done. It's been 3. We still have 14 weeks to go of Eagles football.
It's gonna be long. Jalen Hurts hype train.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
That singular snap was very intriguing. Thank you for watching.